Anna, welcome to the Create Podcast. I'm so excited to be getting to know you, your beautiful artwork, and the important work you're doing for the community. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Ekaterina. It's so wonderful to be a part of your podcast. It's a great pleasure. I'm a big fan of your work, and I really, really, really love it. And I've used to paint quite a lot. I still do. I have one
So
piece
beautiful.
here, but I do love painting. But I'm obviously a multimedia artist, so I work in other mediums as well.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I'm so grateful that I came across your work this year. It was definitely divine timing. I actually picked up a book by Colette Baron-Reid, and then I saw your work in there. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself? Because I believe we're all artists, and you're first and foremost an artist, but then you also have this beautiful other side where you kind of help other people engage with artwork in a more healing and almost like manifesting way. Can you share a little bit about what you do and what you're passionate about?
So I am a founder of NeuroArts School, and I'm actually extremely passionate about the area of neuroaesthetics and neuroarts. My mom, she is now retired, but she used to be a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist. And since I was quite little, she used to ask me to do quite a bit of drawing. I went to art school as well, so art was very close to my heart. And also because my mom, as I said, did a lot of work in psychotherapy, she would bring home those little tasks for me. She's like, Anna, can you please draw a tree? Or can you please draw a house? And then she'll psychoanalyze it. And then also sometimes if I get upset, she will tell me, okay, so if you're angry, just take a pen and just go and create lots of jaggedy lines and get it all out there, and then you can break it into pieces, you can throw it away. And so early on I understood that art is not just create something beautiful, a beautiful picture. It's also a very powerful tool to work with your mind, to calm down, to balance your emotions. And then I also, when I was relatively little, somebody told me how to visualize things. So I was told quite, how to manifest things. And I've been practicing that since I was quite little. And I hope I got quite good at it. So
That's
when
amazing.
we started collaborating with Colette, she found me. I think it was divine timing, as you said, and it was something that I manifested a while ago when we were working on this book, Art of Manifesting. It just kind of everything came together. And obviously Colette's been doing it for like 30 plus years. It was a divine collaboration, so to say.
So happy that it happened and grateful to be enjoying that collaboration myself. So, for most of our audience, I know they're mostly artists, creators, painters. I would love to hear your thoughts on what is neuro arts in your own words, because, we are used to it selling it, decorating a home, or like you said, even as kids, I think when I moved to the US from Russia, I was using it to kind of process. I didn't really speak English. So all I could do was doodle and make drawings, and the kids would then talk to me and try to communicate with me. So there's so many different uses for art in our society, from decorative art to self-expression. But you have a whole other deeper path that you've uncovered, and I would love to hear how you came about this.
Well, it was a while ago. It was back, I don't know, 10 years ago. I was always interested in process arts. I had, as I say, multimedia background, as an artist. And then, I have my mom's background. So this is something I was processing my emotions through art for a long time. And then I came across process art, and I was, engaging doing process art with my kids. And it was very different. But like on the canvas, I will be asking my kids, like, how are you feeling? And just draw it. And then I will take gesso and just cover it. And then we will do, something else. So it was literally, I think I should have been taking more pictures because I still have this massive canvas, but there's so many layers. There's so many amazing things. I just wish I kind of recorded more. So I was always a big fan. And then I came across Neurographica from my sister, she's got master's psychology, and she was using that. And I became a Neurographica instructor. And straight after, I found when I was doing doing research about neuroscience. You can see I'm a big fan of neuroscience.
Hmm.
And I came across Blue Arts Initiative. This is kind of a scientific kind of community. And if anybody's interested, this is a great book, Your Brain on Art.
Yes, I have that book too.
Yeah,
Amazing book.
so they're all part of the project of NeuroArts Blueprint Initiative, and they're launched online. And I actually, so I followed it for a while. And NeuroArts, the whole idea of NeuroArts comes from neuroaesthetics. This is the area of science that learns how our aesthetic experience influences our brain, rewires it. That's why art's been used in art therapy for almost 100 years now. And I just got very interested in this. And I'm very passionate about, creativity. I think we're all creative. And when I talk about creativity and neuro art or neuroarts, I don't talk just about drawing. It's about writing poetry. It's about reciting poem. Again, I'm talking about poems for some reason. So about playing the musical instrument, about singing, about dancing, going to the exhibitions, going to to see theater performances. All of that is extremely healing. And today I went to it was a carol concert
Mm.
in England, and I was just listening to the voices, and we're taking part in hymn singing, and I just felt like all my worries were gone. It's kind of like I felt elevated. It's almost like I was looking at myself and everybody else from above. I think arts, and not just visual arts, just have such an important, amazing, transformative power. And I think everybody should be doing it.
You're so right. And it's funny, this is probably why I'm so drawn to your work. I almost went to grad school for art therapy. I have a minor in psychology. I was so interested in the healing element of it all and I ended up pursuing art and starting my own business. But I'm still very much like a nerd about all this. And, even as an artist, so there's different things we do, making art for the gallery or a show. But I think it's so important to have your own outlet that no one sees, or you get a chance to process your own feelings or questions or frustrations that we all face as humans. What happens, let's say, when someone is doodling or making a little line drawing or using your method? What do you think goes on when we sit down and just carve out a few minutes for ourselves with a pen, pencil, sculpture, whatever, or a voice or poetry?
Well, this is you are, I think it is self-care, because you're pausing whatever's happening in the outside world, and there's a lot happening in the outside world, whatever's happening in your life. If you sit down with a piece of paper, a pen, and start doodling, you're creating that space for yourself, and you are just doodling, you're going into that flow. And especially if you take colors or markers, highlighters, watercolors, and you start applying that, your brain just calms down and switches into a different gear. With intentional arts, this is what I'm a big advocate, and this is what I'm passionate about. You're also drawing with intention. So you're drawing about something. So again, it's based on kind of positive psychology. It's also, there's a lot of neuroscience going on, because you are, when you're creating something, you're not just using your kind of your eyes, you're also connecting with your body, you are creating something with your hands, and then you are your frontal lobe, your executive function kind of is working if you're consciously thinking about it, if you're drawing with intention, like in the AM method, for example. It's kind of intentional drawing in a way. And you're also when you're concentrating on something and trying to bring something positive into your life, you're also switching on reticular activating system in your brain that helps you to look for opportunities in your life. And also with the AM method, we're also saying that you become a co-creator with God, with spirit, however you want to call it, because in different cultures people call it different things. So with quantum fields, with the universe, you just get into that flow state. And what's amazing, we had so much feedback already, because we call it intentional synchronicity. So you draw something, you create something. I haven't finished this one. And
Mm.
then you look for happy coincidence to start happening. This is like the power of synchronicity. You will see how everything starts happening in your life. So yeah, so there's all sorts of things happening.
Oh,
So
I love that.
there's you're making positive changes in your on the hormonal level. It's great if anybody's starting or going through menopause, for example, because it actually harmonizes your hormones. It is great for emotional well-being. It is great for changing your mindset, but it also helps you connect with something bigger than you.
So important. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for someone who's just getting started, and of course, I want to talk about your courses and programs as well, but what's a good amount of time to carve out, like in the morning or an evening, for someone to just make that space for themselves? Because I think it's hard right now. Like you said, there's so much going on the outside and career pressures and the to dos. And if you're a caretaker, parenting, all that,
Mhm.
what's a baby step someone can take to make that space and to do this kind of work?
What I would recommend going for quite small size paper, because a lot of people, they feel overwhelmed because they grab a massive canvas or a
That's me.
large piece of paper and they just look at it. And so I always say start small. Start small. Actually, on my YouTube channel, I've got a couple of exercises, and we talk about here about the power of gratitude, how gratitude, for example, can rewire the brain. And we work, as you know, if you read the book with Colette, about sort of gratitude bubbles.
Mhm.
So I think I always advise my students or people who start drawing, start really small. Just take a tiny little paper like this and just start drawing. So start small. In terms of time of the day, everybody's different. For somebody, like in artist's way, I'm a big fan of the book as well. I think it's amazing. So maybe the first thing in the morning as you wake up, you just start doodling or drawing. Or for some people, like for me and Colette, also she does it, for example, before she goes to bed. And then and same as me, I have like paper next to me, a notebook, and I've got just a simple fine liner. I have them lying around everywhere, and I will just basically doodle before I go to bed, and then it calms you down. You kind of shift gears. Instead of thinking about the day, you relax and you engage in something creative. But every little helps, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Mm.
Everything is beneficial.
I so agree. I found myself, even before I found the book and your amazing work, I found myself like coloring and doodling. And I went to Michael's to get a Halloween costume and I saw these gel pens, which I used to love when I was 13. And I was like, oh my gosh, why did I stop using these gel pens? And it was so relaxing just to do nothing with them, literally just to fill in. But I love the idea of intentionally sort of focusing on processing or manifesting or dreaming again, right? We get so disillusioned and stressed and we forget to be the co creators of our life. Do you have any tips for someone, especially as we come to the end of the year? People might be thinking of like New Year's resolutions or dreaming or setting some goals. Is there a more gentle way? Because as we know, a lot of New Year's resolutions don't work. Is there a gentle way that we can sit down maybe and make a little drawing or something to connect with our desire in a low pressure, nervous system safe way?
Well, I recommend just actually getting the book, because if you get the book, we have so many drawings and they're all guided.
They're
And some of
beautiful.
the drawings are extremely simple. And we also have, for example, an example and a guide how to do the vision board, just using kind of the fine liner and relatively small piece of paper, and just sitting down and creating it. We also have some exercises if you're feeling frustrated with somebody, like what to do in order to calm down. So I just recommend actually taking a look and maybe trying some exercise. Also, as I say, me and Colette, we do almost every week, we do mini classes on YouTube. So check out
That's
YouTube,
amazing.
YouTube channel. It's Anna Denning Art. And you can just, at the moment we're doing candle, very, very, very simple candle drawing. We do them every week for every week of December. And we did hope last week. Now we did peace, and we'll be doing them. So
Beautiful.
they're like, the hope candle was half an hour. So, and it's very
Beautiful.
simple. If you literally can doodle, you can you can do it.
Yeah, most
Super
of our
easy.
listeners should definitely be able to do this. I
Definitely,
love
yes.
that. Now, I want to ask you about your personal art journey. What currently inspires you in your art making, and what are you drawn to, and what are you currently working on?
I am a type of person who is interested in everything.
Me too.
And this was the beautiful journey when we were writing this book because Colette. She's extremely curious. She's a complete nerd, and so am I. And we did so much research in neuroscience, in quantum physics, in kind of synchronicities, in neuroarts, and we put everything together. But and on a regular basis, for example, I do like NeuroArts membership, and every week is different. So I do series on tarot cards, and we pull one like once a month a card, which I think will resonate with people who draw with me. So it's kind of like I'm going, dear universe, which card will work for all of us who will be present, and then we work on that. So it's not just kind of, it's not future reading. It is learning about so-called archetypes,
Hmm.
in our, so because Carl Jung, for example, he was very much interested in tarot and the archetypes. I love crystals. Oh my goodness. If you look at my table, I've got so many different crystals here. And so I have a series on crystals where we look at different crystals. Then I do a little bit of neurographica. I do AM method in my NeuroArts membership. So I'm interested in everything. Obviously, we have summer solstice, I will draw it. Full moon, we will draw it. Moon phases, anything. So I've got a very busy mind. So, and I draw all sorts of things. Anything inspires me. Nature as well. I go lots of walks. I've got a dog. Yeah, so I walk
Yeah.
every day, and I look at sort of the trees, at the shapes, flowers. So anything inspires me.
That's beautiful. And I support this. I think so many times where, especially if you went to art school, you're told to focus on one thing and be known for one thing. But truly, there's a way to integrate everything. And I feel like our hand or our essence, it can create that unity, even if we have a variety of different interests. And I agree. Tarot, I think, is such a creativity sparker. There's a girl that I had on the podcast a few months ago, Chelsea Pippin Mizzi. She also uses tarot to help creatives with, prompts or unblocking themselves. I think it's such a beautiful tool, and I'm so glad you also embrace it. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your programs? How do you guide others through these methods, whether it's the AM method or the neuroarts that you teach on? What can someone expect when they want to work with you?
I have either kind of guided courses. For example, we have the AM method teachers training, because we'll be certifying teachers of the AM method. So that starts in January. It's going to be a small group, so it's by application only. But then it will be taught by Hay House Publishing as well, and possibly in my school as well. Then I also do coaching. So in summer or in spring, I have AM method coaching course coming up. I also teach different courses in Neurographica, for example, like the basic user course, and then they have different modules like neurocomposition, neurocolor, etc. So I do all that. And my another creative outlet is I do NeuroArts membership, where I just create, and in a group of wonderful people, whatever the inspiration is. And often I actually ask people who draw with me, I was like, what would you like to research? And there was one interesting topic I picked a while ago, and it was the witch's wound. And sometimes
Mhm.
ideas come from my students or people I draw with. And I was like, witch's wound, that's very interesting. And then I
That is
started
so
researching and
fascinating.
uncovered the whole, it's witch's wound is about our wounds as women that are buried deep in our unconscious mind. So it's fascinating. So we do cover some really interesting topics. But so
Mhm.
I do a combination of structured courses and also NeuroArts membership, when we do all sorts of things.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Anna. This was such an amazing conversation. I'm so inspired by what you're doing. Where can our listeners find you? What do you have going on next? And how can we support you?
So I would love if you follow my YouTube channel. It is Anna Denning Art. I'm on YouTube. So if you put Anna Denning Art, you'll find me. It's exactly the same name for my Instagram profile. I will be very, very happy to connect with other fellow creators. I also want to do more in my NeuroArts school. At the moment, I do also a little bit of sacred geometry. I'm planning to add there. I'm planning to add, other NeuroArts because there's quite a lot of them under the umbrella of NeuroArts. There's Zentangle, Zendala, Neurographica, AM method, all sorts of different things. So if you are creative, if you want to connect, if you think that what you do falls within NeuroArts kind of category, do please come contact me.
Amazing. I'll make sure to link everything for our listeners. Thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us your time and for sharing all your wisdom and the beautiful programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.